something I wanted to do with you that I haven't had a chance to do. That I was able to. I did with everyone else. I haven't been able to do with you. So it's a questionnaire. I don't know if you'd be up for it.
I'm up for it. Yeah, I'm up for it.
All right. So let me pull it up real quick. So did you ever watch Inside the Actor's Studio?
Inside the actor studio, I vaguely remember it, but no.
Okay. So it was a show back in the day. The host was James Lipton, and he was like this kind of very proper guy. He had this very proper way of speaking, and he would have actors on and just talk about their careers. At the end, he would do this questionnaire
Yep.
where he would just ask him, a series of random questions that would answer. So I'm going to ask you those questions, Ruben.
Sure. Shoot.
So the first question: what is your favorite word?
Favorite word?
What is your favorite word?
Wait, repeat that.
What is your favorite word?
Word. Ooh, that's a good question. I would say my favorite word is romanticize.
Uh, what is your least favorite word?
Ugh, got a couple. One of my least favorite words are, and the young people always bring this up, but uh, you can like put this in an umbrella like vibes, energy, like just
Hmm.
it irks me. But if I had to choose one, if I had a gun pointed to my head, it will be vibes.
What turns you on?
Mm.
Making you to be creatively, spiritually, or whatever.
Sexually, no, I'm playing. Um,
Hey,
what
whatever you want,
turn?
baby. It's your show.
Oh, yeah, talk to me dirty. Um, what turns me on? I guess I can answer like creative, spiritually, things like that. Creative, I think just being able to just go off the cuff and experiment and try different things that just try just stuff that seems out there, little bizarre, just things that you think wouldn't work but can, and just taking chances, taking risk. And spiritually, I think just being able to connect with someone on that level that like, oh man, like this person gets me, um this guy gets me, like, this is why we're good friends, or this is why I'm with this girl, kind of like
Mhm.
that. And then sexually, ooh, I mean, the bakery is open. I'm gonna say that. Uh, the bakery is open. Yams, uh, the booty, and the breastises, the breastises.
All right. What turns you off?
Ugh, I let me answer this in three parts. So, in terms of what turns me off, creative, just repetitiveness, not taking any risk, um, things that's just feel too safe, things that feel that have been done before, but if you don't put your own twist to it, it's just copy and pasting in terms of that makes sense. And then spiritually, people that feel that they need to always gossip instead of trying to help you and lift lift each other up, they'll just put you down and berate you and just put you down spiritually, just put you down in a way where you feel like you're less than a person, less than a
Mhm.
human being, like you're just lower than dirt. And then, in terms of sexually, what turns me off, um, let's see, if you smell like you have been in the fish markets, uh,
All right,
If
we'll
I'm just gonna say that.
all right, we'll keep it at that.
Because
All right.
I could go all day.
Please don't. Next, what is your favorite curse word?
Oh, my favorite curse word. Fuck.
All right, that's always popular.
Yes.
What sound or noise do you love?
Hmm. It's kind of weird, but I do like me being a kid from New York. I do love the sound of the subway, like when I'm waiting on the platform for the train, for the subway to arrive at the train station. I love hearing the sound of the traction motors and that type that type of that type of noise. And yeah, just anything related to like trains, anything with propulsion, things like that.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Oof. Want me to be honest?
Yes,
All
yeah.
right. I cannot stand when people nag. Like this nagging sounds like like nails on a chalkboard. Like when someone speaks and they have like that just annoying voice. Like it's not even cute. It's just annoying. It's like please, Lord help me. Please just to end my suffering. Just rip my ears off. Please. I do not want to hear this noise anymore. That's like the worst. Just nauseating, screeching, nagging voice.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I would love to attempt either work in the field of IT once I get my feet more wet, and also in broadcasting, like we're doing now with podcasting, being like a director, media, of a media company.
Mhm.
That's what I'd like to try.
What profession other than your own would you least like to attempt?
Construction.
Yeah.
Yep.
And finally, if heaven did exist and you arrive at the pearly gates, what would you like to have God say to you?
What would you like God to say to me?
What would you like to hear God say to you as you arrive at the pearly gates?
Um, Damn, that's a deep question. I don't get stumped like this a lot. I would like God to say to me, I did the best I could. Um, Keep your head up. Don't feel bad, but you have more work to do up here.
All right. It's very deep.
Thank you.
But that was the questionnaire, people.
I like that. That was that was that was really fun. I like that.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do it because I just wanted to kind of pick people's brains, see what makes them tick. So, well, I've done it with everybody. I did it with Jeff. I did it with RJ, Justin. I don't know if I did with Monty yet.
Mm.
Um, and I did with Breaking the Apocalypse, which was kind of like, oh shit, I forgot how many questions there were in this questionnaire. So, and even Draper was like, yeah, Drew, no, you shouldn't be asking. Or no, he was like, yeah, Drew needs to kind of keep his questions down a little. But he kind of said that's a joke. But like,
Yeah.
and I talked to I even asked DT and Kevin Castle and Mish this.
Mm.
So it's always interesting to hear what people are thinking.
It's good to pick their brains. I like, yeah, like that. That's you got something there. I think that's something that you should ask you should ask people, more people, and yeah, That would be a good YouTube series to have, like put on your YouTube channel. Um, and clip. Yeah, you could. I could probably like clip this. Like, I'll send you this whole thing. Of course, I'll send you this episode as a whole, but I can also like clip this part, send that to you as well, so that way, you don't have to do that extra work, and then you
Yeah,
could,
man, that'd be fucking cool.
yeah, and yeah, because it's I like when you incorporate um things like you see like on TV, like with actors, like that's a lot of concepts that's on tap that could be tweaked and definitely used. There's so many things, there's so many ways to be creative, and you can even take an idea and just uh mold it to your own. I think that's like the hallmark of being a creative in the space. And I think with what we talked about with Bray Wyatt, I think that was his niche, is just being creative and just putting his thoughts out there, put into fruition. And whether it's good or not, I think the whole point is just to create. When it boils down, um, a lot of people tend to be afraid to create, and they prevent themselves from being the most creative person that they could be. Because maybe they think no one may like it, but you never know until you try. Just put it out there. You truly never know. If it doesn't work, well, hey, there's that's one out of infinite possibilities. If one didn't work, then the next one will. That doesn't work, there's always another option. There's so many options that we can put out. And I think that's super important to do, is just to be creative in this space in general in life. So I do truly think that you got something here. So yeah, that was good. It was very good.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. But anything else before we
Um, yeah, we'll save like the Daddy Masters and stuff, and anything else that comes up for the next show. Which if anyone listening on Patreon, um, we might do this every other week. This won't be a monthly show. We're going to try and maybe do 2 months, or not 2 months, but two shows a month.
yeah,
But this is like I said, this is a fun show, and we always have a lot of news that comes up. So, and the point of the show is it's culture attack. We're attacking the culture. We're talking about all things media, whether it's movies or television or pop culture, sometimes wrestling. So, and there's always something coming out of one of those things. So, we're
absolutely.
going to try. Next show hopefully is in another 2 weeks. So, um, I just kind of, I guess, maybe do a quick run through of what we've been watching if we have time. Um, but yeah, I've been really been watching a lot of television. I'm finishing up on what the fuck? Reservation Dogs. That's the last season is this season. So I'm finishing up on that. That's been good.
Okay.
And I just realized that through T-Mobile, I have Apple TV or Apple Plus for free.
Oh, nice, nice, nice.
So, and they're doing a Godzilla show, and
Yeah, I
it
may
looks
have to watch that.
it looks fucking gorgeous. I love it. And then there's going to be Godzilla minus one, which is the Japanese version, and Godzilla is actually fucking shit up on that show. He's actually a villain in that movie,
Mhm.
so I'm like, hell yeah! So I can't wait to see that.
Ah,
Movies. I watched a horror movie a while ago, or last week actually, called uh, "It Lives Inside," which is a horror movie done by a Indian director, like not Native American Indian, but like Hindu Indian,
okay.
and it was a pretty good film. It was good, and then the last act kind of got weird, where it seemed like I was watching, I don't know, like a CW show somewhat,
Okay.
and it was fine until the ending when they showed the monster. I'm like, okay, this lost all of its appeal.
Ah,
Um, so it was fun. Funny enough, funny story about it was that We have Regal Theaters here in San Antonio. I have the unlimited pass, so I can see movies for free. Every other Monday we'll have Mystery Movie Monday, which you buy the ticket, but you don't know what movie you're seeing. They'll give you a hint about what you're going to watch, but that's about it. So I went there blind, you know, about to watch a movie I had no idea what it was going to be, and it's funny. The theater was a little full because I think people just wanted to go see a movie that they had no idea what it was going to be. And then right when we're getting to the presentation, the director of the film comes on screen. He's like, "Hey, I'm so and so, and tonight you're going to preview my movie. It Lives Inside. And it's a horror movie, and blah blah blah." And this, I was kind of sitting on the side, and there was this entire family, predominantly white, that just got up and left. And I'm like, I'm not trying to make a big deal out of that because maybe it's just like we don't want to watch a horror movie. But it's just
Yeah.
like as soon as they saw a person with brown skin on their theater say we're going to watch a horror movie, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of funny. But the movie was fine. It's just the ending I wasn't crazy about. We saw the Equalizer 3 last week, which was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
I gotta get to watching that soon.
Betty had never seen the Equalizer, which weirdly enough, she's not a fan of Denzel Washington, which I find odd. And
Really?
because yeah, like she's not the biggest Denzel fan. Like her reasoning is because he plays the same role in every movie. I'm like, okay, he's fucking Denzel. He's awesome, but whatever. I love Denzel, but like I like the Equalizer movies. I didn't like two as much. Um, I don't know. It's just I thought it's weird because Pedro Pascal's in the movie, he plays a villain.
Yeah.
Um, I just didn't like two as much. It didn't click with me as one did. This one, I was kind of unsure going in. I was like, I don't know if it's going to be as good. Not because of Denzel, but the movie looks generic. But then I watched the movie. I'm like, this was awesome. Like I loved it. The kills were awesome. Denzel essentially turned into a slasher villain, a slasher horror movie villain with a lot of his kills, especially like this one, like the big climax scene, and he's just like picking everybody off one by one, and it's like you're watching, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, and Denzel's playing them, and I'm like, I almost feel bad for the bad guys in some aspects because he's like Denzel's just like killing them in the most brutal ways possible, to the point where I'm like, what did these guys do? Like, what did they do to piss off Denzel that much? Um, and like, yeah, the kills were awesome. And it's just like Denzel, the way he kills him is believable for him because I love the John Wick movies. John Wick is more comic booky in some aspects, and then John Wick is still awesome. Equalizer is kind of more grounded with a lot of their action and kill
Yeah.
scenes because Denzel is reaching 70, so he can't do the rolling around action scenes. Like it's more believable for him to just stand and just like avoid a punch and just beat the fuck out of people. And it's believable because it's fucking Denzel. I'm not gonna fuck with Denzel for sure. Um, if I saw Denzel, if I ever meet Denzel in person and he looks at his watch, I'm running. Fuck.
Yeah. Just run away the opposite way as fast as you can.
Yeah, Denzel's the man. He's a legend.
Yes.
Greatest living actor today, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. Like
And then,
got a lot of good movies.
yeah, it's the funny thing is, like even in bad Denzel movies, he was still the best part of the movie.
Yes.
Like he's never phoned in a performance. So
Just gave
I
it his
mean,
all. Yep.
I can't even think of a bad. I mean, I can think of a bad movie he's been in. I just can't think of a bad performance he's ever done. Like he's like the equivalent of like Ric Flair, where he can like have a good match with a broomstick and it'll look believable. Like that's Denzel. Give him a bad script and he'll make it his own. But
Absolutely.
and then recently we saw The Nun 2 in theaters, which I wasn't crazy about the first Nun, and to be honest, I don't remember anything that happened in the first Nun. So we went to this movie kind of like, okay, we remember that girl was in it. We remember he was in it. Like that's as much as we remember. Um, it was better than the first one. I'll say that, but it's like begrudgingly saying it, where it's like, well, it was at least better than the first one. Where like my biggest problem with the first Nun movie, as much as I can remember, is that the nun didn't really do anything. All
Yeah,
it did was just stand there looking like Marilyn Manson, scaring people.
yeah. I actually saw the first Nun movie, and I I mean, it was a good popcorn flick, but it wasn't like I rather watch the Pope's Exorcist. Like that movie I thoroughly enjoyed, and the reason why I
It was
went to
cheese.
see that, yeah,
It was good cheese.
yeah, it was good cheese, and like there was a lot of moving parts in that one, but in the first Nun movie, it was just kind of like I see what they was trying to do, but it was just lacking. But I should see the second movie.
I mean, it's made a lot of money. It's actually like because it had a budget of like 30 million, and it ended up making back its budget and more. It made back over 88 million.
Yeah,
So I mean, those Conjuring movies make a lot of money, and because I mean, it also helps that they have a low budget. So I mean that's respectable. I mean,
yes,
it's I mean horror movies like wrestling is subjective. There's going to be people that like this kind of wrestling. There's going to be like that kind of wrestling, kind of like in horror movies. There's going to be
right,
people that like the jump scare fest, and there's going to be people that prefer more of the, I guess, the psychological, like indie A24 films that people can say are better horror films that don't make a lot of money. Because I mean, I thought Talk to Me was a much better horror film, like probably the best horror film of the year. But it didn't make a lot of money because not all people saw it. Whereas, you know, The Nun 2 is probably going to make a shit ton of money. Insidious 5, I didn't like at all. It's probably one of my least favorite horror films, or least favorite films of the year, which is unfortunate because I like Insidious. But that made a lot of money. I think that made the most money in that franchise. So, good on them for, making money. But yeah, The Nun 2 and this one, The Nun was actually like doing shit. Like there was actually some good kills, which I'm like, oh, okay.
mm,
Um, the acting was, I mean, the actors in it, I didn't have a problem with. I mean, I think Taissa Farmiga is good. She definitely carried a lot of this movie, even though she was kind of boring at some points. Uh, Storm Reed, I generally like as an actress. I think she's really good and a lot of shit I've seen her in. I mean, she's in one of my favorite movies of the year, Missing. I think she's really good. She's charismatic. In this movie, they didn't give her anything to do. Like she was just there. Like, there's a scene where she's talking to Taissa Farmiga, and she's like, "You need me. I'll come with you to this mission." And she didn't really do anything, like at all. I'm like, basically just wasted Storm Reed. Um, and there are some points in the movie where I kind of giggled. I'm like, okay, that wasn't purposely funny, but it kind of made me laugh.
yeah,
And of course, at the end, like with every Conjuring movie, they have to have their big climax, what I call a superhero ending,
mm,
where it's like suddenly, the nun is a super saiyan or has like superhero powers or whatever. It just like starts just like beating the shit out of everybody by just like, I don't know, throwing them across the room or whatever. Um, but I mean, there's a post credit scene that sets up the Conjuring 4, which is going to be the last Conjuring movie.
mm,
So,
huh,
I don't know. I personally didn't like The Nun, but everybody else seemed to like it. I mean, I follow a Conjuring page on Facebook, and everybody that I've seen that has seen it has posted saying, "I liked it. It was awesome." Blah blah blah. I'm like, hey, cool.
yeah,
Like, I'll never tell anyone that they shouldn't like a movie because I didn't like it.
of course,
You know what I mean? Because like again, movies are subjective, horror is subjective. If something resonated with you, cool. Like that just means the movie business is cinema. It's still thriving. It's still making money, and people still want to go to the movies to watch a movie. So if you liked it, cool. I just personally didn't like it.
yeah, yeah. That's yeah, I definitely got it. not every movie is, everyone's cup of tea. Just, how it resonates. Maybe it doesn't resonate with you, but it resonated with other people, and that's fine too. Um, it's like I don't know. I think with horror movies in general, like the majority of them tend to be that they have a good premise, but they end up being just like hit or miss. Um, but we always have the classics to go by. Like I always go back and watch some of the classics, but I think that's something I should do for preparation for October and being, Halloween and everything, and it being fall. So
Yeah,
that's
like
something I'll do.
because I'll be honest, this might shock you. I've actually never seen a lot of the classic like Universal Studios films.
Mm.
I haven't seen the original Dracula or the original Wolfman or Frankenstein or any of those movies, and somewhere Justin is at his store going, oh, because Justin is like, he's a huge fan of those movies. Like at his place, he actually has like a poster of like Bela Lugosi and like the Wolfman and shit like that. So
Oh,
he's
cool.
big into like the old school like Universal Studios like monster films. So I want to watch those films just because again I'm a horror guy. I want to watch those films, and I know Max. Usually around spooky season they'll add like a lot of classic horror movies.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And I tweeted at Regal Studios. I'm like, please show these films during October, and I put like the first two Alien films, The Thing, Insidious, Candyman,
Oh,
and
Candyman. The '90s Candyman was really good. Like the
I,
first one, I know there's
they're like,
multiple movies.
I don't know. I mean, they just made him cool. Like he was just cool. He was too cool to hate.
Yeah.
Like if you were in a fucking parking garage, and all of a sudden you heard Ruben. You turn around, you see that cool motherfucker in his fucking overcoat. Come be one of our victims.
I'll just run, but he would just teleport to me and
You can't run from me. You can't run from fate. But I don't know. Tony Todd, he follows me on Twitter or
oh,
on X.
okay.
I think he follows everybody, but like he followed me, and
Yeah.
I was a fanboy. I actually messaged him personally. I was like, I'm a huge fan of yours. I love Candyman. It's one of my favorite horror movies, and I'm super stoked that you're going to voice Venom in the Spider-Man game. And he actually wrote me back. He went, "My pleasure," and I still have that tweet. I'm like, Tony Todd. I felt like a little kid. I felt like a little kid. I'm like, Tony Todd is awesome. But can't wait for the Spider-Man 2 game. It's gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna buy Spider-Man 2 on PS5 because like the trailer sold me when they revealed the trailer. It really sold me on the game. Um, it'll be my first like Spider-Man game that I ever like played. I will play the the first one and Miles Morales
You should.
in my time, but I'm definitely gonna get Spider-Man 2 because those like I mean it's Spider-Man and the trailer sold me. The video game trailer sold me, so I'm like, okay, I gotta. They sold me,
I would
and
say play
yeah,
those games before you play Spider-Man 2,
yeah,
in my opinion. Like you could probably get the first Spider-Man for like $20. You can get Miles Morales for probably like a cheaper price, or maybe like the same price because they're kind of older games.
okay,
You can get them at GameStop. You can probably get them on like the PlayStation Store, but um, definitely pre-order Spider-Man 2. But in my opinion, play those two games before you do anything.
yeah. I think I have both Spider-Man games because I have the PS Plus Premium, and you know, like they raised the price for that thing was from $119 to $149 annually because you get all the classic games, and the reason why I got it because I'm a big Ratchet and Clank uh fanboy, and I was like, well, I do not want to emulate because I have a PC. I do not want to emulate these games on the PC because they run terribly. So I just might as well just get this so I can play. So I can play them. And I do have the physical copies of the Ratchet and Clank titles too, like on the PlayStation 2.
Mhm.
During the pandemic, I found a lot of gems. So I was like, yeah, let me get some of these titles, and lo and behold, I can play them on the PS5. But it sucks that they're behind a pretty steep like paywall. Because it's just for streaming. But I'm most likely gonna try to get these games, try to get some
Yeah.
playtime with these games before like Spider-Man 2 comes out. Um,
And then I pre-ordered the controller for the game,
oh yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
which well, because they have the console, which you don't have to get the console. Like you can actually just get like the covers, which
Yeah,
is like $65, which you can only get online. But yeah,
yeah.
the controller I pre-ordered with the game, and I already have it, but I'm not going to use it until I actually get the game.
Okay, okay.
So, but I already pre-ordered the game. I just have to pay like $30, 30 more bucks on it, and then October 20th comes around, which that day SmackDown is going to be in San Antonio, and everybody already bought tickets to SmackDown.
Oh, nice, nice.
So it's gonna be a fun day.
Fun day indeed. Yeah. Speaking of controllers, I know like before we head out, I have the controller, the PS5 controller that came with the PS5, and then I have a black controller that I use to play on the PC. And then I have a blue one that I just have in the box, and that like those controls are gorgeous, but they're expensive.
Yep.
Lord, they're
So
expensive.
our PlayStation games in general, because like I bought The Last of Us Part One, the remastered version, and that game was expensive as fuck. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna wait till this game till it's like a deal because I don't know if I want to spend money on a game I've already beaten twice and pay full price for it. So luckily there was a sale, and I also have like a $10 coupon, so I just used it for that and bought it for like 30 something bucks.
Mm.
It's still a classic game. Um, and then they're also re-releasing the Arkham series on Switch, which
I seen
can't wait for that.
seen the event. I think it was the summer games event. I'm the same people that bring us the video game awards show. Um, yeah, I saw that. It was pretty cool. I think I have the whole collection on Steam. That's the PC game store. I think I have it on there. And yeah, I mean, speaking of buying games multiple times, I've brought one of my favorite franchises, the Metroid franchise.
Mhm.
I got this year. Yeah, it was this year. They had released Metroid Prime on the Switch. They remastered it on the Switch. So I went and got it digitally. I went and got it digitally, and then it. I got a physical copy, and I did the same thing with the Metroid Dread release. I went and got it digitally. I pre-ordered it digitally, and then I had got a physical copy, and then I got the special edition, and they're on my stand behind me, and I normally don't do that, like get the special edition. But I was like I gotta support Nintendo and Metroid because I want them to release more games. So gotta to break the piggy bank. So we gotta we gotta do that a couple of times. Um, but it's all about supporting your favorite gaming company, and hell, you gotta buy the game multiple times, which I'm not afraid of doing. But I just do hope that we get more games soon because Metroid Dread did a pretty good job. Um, excuse me, it did a pretty good job. With it was the best selling Metroid game of all time, which was pretty good, you know, for the Switch and for the franchise, because that it nearly nearly died because of mistakes in the past, but you know, I'm glad that it's still kicking and a lot of new fans are coming. I've come around and they gave Metroid a chance, and I'm happy as a Metroid fanboy. I'm happy. I hope that more people play more Metroid games. So yeah,
Yes, sir.
but I think that is I think that's it for now. We've been recording for like nearly 2.5 hours, which is pretty good value if I say so myself. Um, yeah, let's take it home. So, any last words, remarks?
Uh, Really nothing. But yeah, I look forward to doing this show more often each month. Um, and you guys will be hearing from us soon. And I appreciate Ruben for taking time out of his busy schedule
Of course,
to record this show.
anytime, anytime. I'm always looking forward to doing these shows, and there's just so much news coming out. And yeah, today, even though today was pretty wrestling heavy, I mean, it is part of the culture. Um, and there's been a lot of news going on, and we'll touch it. We'll always try to hit as much of the news as possible because it's just so much to get into, and you know we got other things going on. We got our separate lives, but we always try to make do when we can, and that's why we're gonna bring this show uh, twice a month, so that will give us plenty of content and plenty of time to talk about all the other stuff that's going on in Hollywood and in the entertainment industry as a whole, gaming, uh, sports, well, sports entertainment, and cinema, big screen, silver screen, what have you. Yeah. So that being said, as it's uh, pouring down rain, it's been a pleasure, Drew. We'll definitely do this again fairly soon later on this month. And the month is still young. The month is so young, so we'll definitely have enough to talk about. So, guys, remember $5 a month to get double the dose of Drew and Ruben Prime. Double the dose. That's hopefully you can handle it. Gonna inject some gonna inject some culture into your veins. Uh,
A lethal dose of poison
yeah.
on the end.
Classic. Yes, definitely. Yeah, we're gonna inject you guys, but safe substance. Safe
With my
substance.
cock.
Just not Tony Khan's coke. We're not gonna do that. That is no bueno. Don't do drugs. Just
No,
consume culture, enough culture attack in your veins. So that being said, for Juyari, for myself, it's been another episode of Culture Attack, episode 13 on Patreon. Remember, guys, $5 a month. So much content, so much value, so much entertainment. And yeah, we're out. Peace.
we out. You saw.
Peace.